Hello and welcome. We have already learned that cardiovascular endurance is how long the heart can sustain exercise for. So let's learn a little bit more about the heart and about the cardiovascular system as a whole. The simplest way to think about the cardiovascular system is to think about a highway. Trucks drive down the highways and they carry resources to our cities. In our body, the blood vessels are like the highways. The blood is like the trucks. So that blood goes through the blood vessels and it carries resources to our cells. We just learned that the purpose of the cardiovascular system is to deliver resources to our cells. So let's think for a moment. What do we need to survive? Well, we need to breathe in oxygen. That's a resource. And we need to eat food. Food contains nutrients, so that's another resource. And we need these resources to go to our cells. Cells make up all the components of our body. Cells are found in our organs, such as our brain, kidney, liver, stomach, and intestines. And they make up our muscles. In short, our cardiovascular system gets our oxygen and nutrients into our muscles and organs. A system is something that has parts that work together. So let's talk about those parts. Cardio means heart. The heart is the most important part. It's the pump that pushes the blood through the blood vessels. Those blood vessels are like highways that travel all around our body. They let the blood get from the heart into our organs and into our muscles. Then we have a few complementary organs. These aren't technically part of the system, but they still work with it. The lungs are important because they bring oxygen into our body. The digestive system is important because it brings food or nutrients into our body. Once those things are in our body, they get transferred into the blood and then pushed around to our cells. Heart rate tells us how fast our heart is beating. We can find this out by feeling our carotid or radial artery located in our neck or wrist. We can also find this out by wearing a device such as a heart rate monitor watch. If we check our heart rate while we're resting, it should be beating about 60 to 90 beats per minute, BPMs. Even though our muscles aren't working very hard, our heart still has to beat to pump enough oxygen and nutrients to our brain and to other organs. When we start exercising, our heart rate should be in a training zone. That would be about 60 to 80% of our maximum heart rate, which is about 120 to 180 beats per minute. Now we also have a maximum heart rate. That is as fast as our heart can possibly beat. To estimate our maximum heart rate, we can use the equation 220 minus your age. So a 12-year-old would have a maximum heart rate of about 208 beats per minute. If you think about this equation, you will notice that a younger person has a higher maximum heart rate. A kid's heart can beat faster, but it is not necessarily stronger. We make our heart stronger by exercise. Let's look at the flow chart. When we exercise, our muscles are working harder, so they need more oxygen. That makes our heart beat faster, which makes our heart stronger. A strong heart is a healthy heart. Let's look at two examples. Someone with a strong heart will have a resting heart rate of 60 beats per minute. If we do the math, this strong heart is only going to beat about 31 million times in a year. On the contrary, someone with a weak heart is going to have a heart rate of about 90 beats per minute. This weak heart is going to beat almost 47 million times per year. The weak heart has to work much harder, so it's more likely to wear down or stop working sooner. Now let's say we're comparing two people who are running side by side. They're running the same speed, but their hearts aren't beating the same speed. The person with the strong heart might have a heart rate of 160 beats per minute. That might be 80% of their max, and they could sustain that 80% for a long time. The person with the weak heart might have a heart rate of 200 beats per minute. That could be 100% of their maximum, and they can't do that for a long time. They will have to slow down or stop running very soon. In this example, the person with the strong heart is the better athlete because they can go faster and longer. There was a lot of information in this video, but the most important thing to remember is that the cardiovascular system delivers oxygen and nutrients to our muscles and organs. Actually, the most important thing to remember is that exercise makes our heart healthy and strong.